And we speak to Abongile now as the ANC crisscrosses the Northern Cape, galvanizing support for its birthday celebration. So is the Democratic Alliance, painting the province blue. It's visited drought-stricken areas, calling on the ANC to recognize how urgent the situation is. SABC News reporter Abongile Dumako was with the DA. We cross to him live now. Abongile, so the issue of drought, the DA interim leader Droughtstricken is touching on, even using the Western Cape as an example of what could go wrong when crises like these are not addressed or managed properly. Tell us a little bit more about this.
Good evening, Tsepiso Makwetla. Certainly, DA interim leader John Stays and being here in Kimberley for the better part of today, accompanied, of course, by the provincial leadership of the party, Enrolo, of course, and other structures of the DA within the Northern Cape province. Main reason why he came here, even though when we asked him, was it not just grandstanding or maybe trying to steal the limelight of the ANC, as we all know that they've been always here since the beginning of the week, preparing for that January 8th statement by President of the party, Cyril Ramaphosa, denying blatantly that that's the reason behind their visit here, but saying that there's a huge concern when it comes to the drought that continues to cripple many provinces across the country. Saying, of course, though, that this is the right moment for them to have come here, as the fact that President Cyril Ramaphosa has been in and out of all the corners of the Kimberley and the greater part of the Northern Cape province to get a sense on the ground of how people are being affected by the drought. So it's only fair that they only came today to actually highlight the deepening challenges that people face on the ground when it comes to the drought. Of course, saying that they have experienced, as the Western Cape, they've seen drought happening in that part of the country. So they would like to come forward to help the president and, of course, government at large as to how they could sort of come with those possible solutions that would see, drought being alleviated, so to say, and, of course, farming continuing to happen as one would imagine is the case here in the Northern Cape.
And dispensing some advice to the president of the governing party and president of the country there, Mr. Steenhuisen Abongile, speaking about how it took them a concerted effort as local and provincial government to overcome the spectre of the taps running dry in the Western Cape. Did he give any specific tips on how the Northern Cape can be dealt with? And is he saying to the president that he ought to include this in his January 8th statement on Saturday?
What stood out when we sort of cornered him with questions as to what is he bringing to the table that he thinks would be suitable as means of solution to this problem of drought. He says one thing that needs to happen is for government to acknowledge that there's a problem, saying that we cannot always put our head into the sand and think or expect that the drought will just disappear and be a thing of the past. Of course, acknowledging that President Ramaphosa personally and, of course, the Minister of Kokta, Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, cannot do anything. They cannot perform any miracle for rain to actually fall here in the Northern Cape and, of course, across the country. But he's saying that a concerted effort between themselves as opposition leaders with experience when it comes to tackling drought, and, of course, the government coming to the fore, saying that communities need to be mobilized on how they could easily utilize water sparingly. As he says that even in Cape Town they were able to manage to avoid day zero, saying that it will take the government reaching out to the communities in consultation to them as those who have experienced in the drought, and, of course, making the point that those communities, including farming, there's a lot of farming that is happening here in the Northern Cape, crop farming and livestock, government coming to the fore and sort of putting those much needed funds instead of wasting money, going fires, making a claim, Tsepiso, saying that Minister of Water and Sanitation, including Human Settlement, Lindiwe Sisulu, is actually channeling money to the wrong direction to actually pump a campaign for the deputy president of the ANC, which he says will take place in 2022. I personally asked him, where is he basing those allegations? He simply said that he heard about it in the media.
And speaking of going far, Abongile, he certainly wasn't shy on putting a figure to the number of jobs that he think the drought will result in, as in lost jobs, something in the region of 62,000. Did he expand on how they came to this figure?
Again, his claims and his utterances at that press conference we had with him earlier on were on the basis of the fact that they are being reported on, saying that these figures are something that is come across in the media, which was quite peculiar, because if you come to a media conference and you have allegations that you make or claims that you make, and then when you are being cornered to actually come up with concrete evidence as to where you get this from, and then you are unable to deliver a concrete response to those questions. Hence the question again that we posed to him, John Steenhuisen, as to basically you coming to Kimberley just to steal the limelight of the ANC, and then he stood firm saying that no, their job, they've made a commitment to the public when they were voted into power that they won't let government relax and not do their job. And part of the government's job is to make the point that the taxpayers' money is channeled to the right processes that will see people being assisted in a dire situation of this drought that is actually affecting the country, and especially here in the Northern Cape.
Right, thank you very much, Abongile Dumako, our reporter who is in the Northern Cape.